Hello and welcome to the Banter Bench. My name is Fallon. I'm joined by Jay, Colin, Sean, and Tim. And it's 5 friends, 5 takes, and endless topics. Let's go ahead and get in the first one for the week, and it's which alcohol is a fast track to blacking out? I'll go ahead and say let's start with you, Jay.
Well, personal experience, Jaeger bombs has definitely done it for me. Maybe it was a combination of other alcohols I had with it, but yeah, I got alcohol poisoning.
Was that the icing on the cake for you?
Which part?
The Jaeger bomb? Is that what did you in?
I mean, considering I had about 12 of them mixed with Chew Highs, seltzers, whiskey sours, and everything else. But the very distinct thing I remember is the Jaeger bomb, because I can't smell Jaeger anymore without my body rejecting it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I've got the same reaction to tequila.
I love tequila.
No,
That's
I
when
can't do it.
that's me. That's me if I smell Everclear.
Tequila's pretty good.
Espresso tequila?
The fucking
Good.
what now? What is
Espresso
that?
tequila.
I hate all
Yeah,
all
it's good.
tequila.
Like
Tequila good.
like espresso, like
Like it tastes like coffee. It's like sweet coffee.
Espresso?
Like espresso, but it's tequila.
coffee tequila.
Yeah, but it's called espresso tequila.
Sounds like
That just
crazy
sounds like a
backwards.
bad idea.
Yeah, that
No,
sounds like
it
a
was
fast...
actually
Sounds
very
horrible.
smooth. Normally, when I drink tequila, like, you know, it kind of burns and it feels a little intense, but like that was just smooth. Like I took 2 shots back to back.
I am guaranteed to throw up if I have tequila at all.
I-
One shot
I'm with
tequila,
Bold on
I'm
there.
throwing up. Can't do it.
If I'm already
I'm
drinking and I
with
drink
Paul.
tequila, I'm fine.
Oh no, if I'm
No,
already
I-
drinking and I drink tequila, I'm done.
Yeah, he's done.
If
I've
I'm
seen
not
it.
drinking and I drink tequila, I'm done.
Tequila.
I was gonna. Tequila,
I'm
tequila
pretty
is
sure
good.
we made you drink tequila one time when we were out, and you were done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that-
not
I was
joking.
gonna
That
say,
is the one that gets me.
I'm with Tim on that. Tequila, like tequila is just me personally. I hate it, and then like the smell of it, and then if I just take a shot of it, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Is
Well,
it...
it also depends on what tequila.
Yeah, that's what I was
usually-
going to
Oh,
ask.
It's any tequila for me, like any of it. It's also because of the last time I had it. It was at a quince for a friend, and the next morning I woke up in her bed with her with nothing but underwear. So that was a
Wait,
whole
how does that
fucking-
sound like a bad thing?
quince. She was Mexican, so when I came out of her bedroom and her fucking mom and dad
Hey,
are looking at me,
Oh,
Oh.
that would do
This is also
it.
when- this is also when I was 15. So, 15-year-old with the birthday girl walking out of her bedroom in nothing but underwear and she's in bra and panties. You kind of sit there going,
So,
Happy
like...
quinceanera.
So who was faster? You or the dad? Who got out the door first?
He got little legs. He can
Who
run
g-
faster. He's like a corgi going.
Bro,
So
he
I
went through
feel-
the
wait.
air vent. He was gone.
He vented.
this is exactly how it happened, right? I'll go through the whole story really quick. I got there. I'm the only white boy at this quince, and
Oh boy.
her uncle saw me and goes, "Widow, can you drink?" And I was just like, "Sure." I don't know what the fuck you mean. I'm whatever. And ow. So he sat me down, tilted my head back, and was instantly, all right, waterfall, waterfall. And I just sat there and I was like, oh fuck, this is alcohol. This burns. And they did that like 4 times before I just completely was okay. I don't remember leaving or like getting up and going. I don't remember how I got into her bed. And I just fucking remember I woke up, I rolled over, she's right next to me. I'm in nothing but underwear. She's in her bra and panties. I'm sitting here going, I wonder, because I'm friends with her older brother. So I was like, I'm going to just sneak out, go into his room and play video games. And because I can hear him screaming at
Still in
Call
your
of Duty.
underwear.
And
Yams everywhere.
so I got up, I walked out of the bedroom, closed the door quietly, and I turned around and her mom and dad are in the hallway just staring at me like like I committed a crime. I'm just sitting there going,
Stop! You violated the law.
I sat there and I looked at them. I go, I promise you, even though I don't remember, I swear to God I didn't touch her. I swear to God she's in there
I
sleeping
threw
still.
up.
And all I remember was it felt like a cartoon because I could see the steam coming out of her dad's head, and I'm just sitting there. I'm gonna die.
This
I'm
is
gonna
it.
die.
This is where I die.
I'm in
And-
danger.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Because so
And
am
then,
I.
like, her dad, I was terrified. But her mom, she had the trunkla in hand, ready to fucking boomerang it at me.
Yeah,
and I
man.
sat there and I'm just, and all of a sudden, I hear the door behind me open. She goes, "Hey, you're awake. You're alive. What happened?" I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Oh." And then she looked at her parents and saw what the predicament was and went, "Oh, come on, guys. You know he's white. I don't fuck white people." And that was
Wow.
the saving grace. That was the saving grace. She said that, and I just was like, "Yay, I'm saved."
Bye,
I'm gonna
guys.
play
I go
Call of
now.
Duty.
I go now.
You just see
I
yourself
didn't
out.
play it. Oh, dude, I grabbed my clothes. I walked out the front door because I'm their neighbor. So I literally just walked out the door, went right
Wait,
next
you didn't
door.
change first? You just boxered it all the way to your place?
You mean you
Walk
Because
of
the-
shame.
pee
it
out and
was
everything?
It was literally her house, my house. We're right next door neighbors. So all I did was walk out, open the garage, went in, closed the garage, went to my bedroom, went back to sleep, woke up a few hours later, and all I remember is just getting a text message. "Hey, dude, where the hell did you go?" "I'm at home."
I
Dude,
threw up.
No.
I threw up.
So like 15. That you said that happened like 4 times. So you probably like white girl wasted at 15 years old after those 4 little waterfalls.
That's kind of crazy that the dad was just like, yeah, let me just pump you full of tequila at my
That was the
at my
uncle.
daughter's
No, no,
quinceanera.
Not her dad, her uncle. Her uncle.
Oh,
Damn.
oh, he was
Sounds
the
like
fun
uncle
uncle.
activities.
He was the fun uncle.
That's uncle
Yeah,
activities.
and again, I was the only white dude there. Everyone else was Hispanic and everything. So it was like a full blown quince. Like
Hey,
I'm pretty
power
sure
to
they were
you for
partying.
being invited. I mean, most people are just like, well, he's
Well,
white.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know it was her quince. I just went
He's
over, and
bland.
her older brother her older brother let me in, and he was like, "Oh, hey, just come say hi really quick. It's her birthday." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll say hi to the birthday girl. Whatever. Be nice, polite." And that's just as soon as I went to the backyard, that's where I fucked up and got noticed, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, dude, you stick out like a sore thumb, man. I mean, you
Just
stick
because
out.
you're
Thumb.
built
You stick
I
out
mean,
like Robert Pattinson in
same
Twilight,
size,
man.
right? You know.
But
You're white. You're sparkly and shit.
tequila, yeah, tequila. I'm with Tim. Smell of it, the taste. I can't. It just makes me feel like shit. And then Everclear. Everclear is just fuck
Oh
that.
boy.
So that's your
Wait.
fast track to blacking out too?
Everclear.
I think that's everybody's fast track to blacking out.
That's
Wait.
honestly my personal one.
Or some good old
Everclear?
white lightning.
Oh brother. Wait, Wold, why do you not like tequila?
So my story was
Oh boy, you
during
can tell.
Fleet Week. So it was during Fleet Week. I was in San Francisco, and we went out every single night in uniform, and didn't pay for a single drink. So we were getting absolutely destroyed. And I was mixing beer, liquor, everything that I possibly could because I was given for free.
That's where you goofed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once you drink enough, then the free drinks you don't taste them and realize what they are fast enough, and then you're already screwed.
At that point, you don't even care.
Yeah, and then I ended that night with straight tequila shots, and they were not top shelf. They were not middle shelf.
Don Julio Blanco.
They were the cheapest you could get, and I think I did 4 of them back to back to back.
That's pretty cheap. That's like
And-
$6 a bottle.
Well, the person saw our group walk in, and as soon as they saw us walk in, they ordered, I think it was 20 shots
Oh nah.
for their little group, and then our group of like 5 people, and then they took their group of 3 or 4 people. They took 3 or 4 shots away, and then they gave the rest to us.
Boy.
And that ended my night very quickly.
That was your teleporter to the next
I had
day.
I woke up the next morning, completely dead, and I ended up taking a nap in a porta potty because of it.
Oh, brother.
Oh yeah. So we
What?
had to work while we were doing this. So we would wake up every day at 6 o'clock and muster in uniform, and then we would go and work and do static displays and interact with civilians and everything. So yeah, I went to work and I was still not there at all.
Was it like
I was
hot?
glossy eyed. Oh yeah. Oh, it was warm. It was
Oh,
San Francisco in the middle of the summer.
So it's like
Holy.
100. It's like 100 something there.
No, it wasn't like 100 something,
It's
but
just
it was,
musty.
It was
it
probably
was
like
musty and it was
80
hot.
And
I was
in a
gonna say, it was
porta
probably
potty,
like 80
waking up
degrees
there.
in-
Do what?
I said, waking up in a hot ass porta john, hungover.
How'd you wake
No.
up? How did you wake up?
Well,
How did you
crazy
go to
thing-
sleep?
How did you get there?
So, so while we were there, I had to keep my sunglasses on because I was just glossy-eyed. And I was like, dude, I need to go sit down for a few minutes. And they had just cleaned all the porta potties, and I went into this porta potty, and I was like, damn, this is actually a really nice porta potty. And I sat down for a minute, and I was like, damn, this is actually really like it was just warm enough to where you were like comfortable.
You had that gentle breeze from the bottom hitting your balls when you're sitting there. Pants around
No,
your
I
ankles.
didn't have my pants down. My pants were not down. Okay.
Wait, that's even worse. You were in uniform taking a nap? Oh, brother.
Oh, dude, it was a rough day. It
Did
was
you
a
at least
very rough
shower
day.
before you went in the next morning? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I showered.
He just straight send it. He went to bed, woke
Straight
up, and went to work.
dude, smell like tequila and like fucking porta john? No.
Yeah, so that was the last day of a week straight of drinking until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then mustering at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that last day, it absolutely killed me, and I can't do tequila since then. I smell it, and it makes me nauseous.
Yeah, hence the Baja Beach Cafe when we gave you the margarita.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll do margaritas, but I'm not a fan of them. Ugh. I'm good.
Good times.
I
So,
did do a Margarita Madness 5K one time. That was rough.
You already hate tequila, and you went
and
running.
I
Oh
did the
boy.
5K knowing that I hated tequila.
So,
And they give you a margarita to start, and then they give you a margarita when you finish.
fuck.
So you
that.
just doubled down on trying to throw up that day.
Yeah, it wasn't my best choice,
But
but
it was a choice.
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
Oh yeah. I want to hear Sean's story with the white lightning.
Yeah, because you seem like that's your fast track.
I want to hear Sean's story of the white lightning. Of him
You know,
just...
so funny enough, it was actually at my dad's wedding. in
No,
our
bro.
backyard.
Oh,
They had brought moonshine.
Oh
And
boy.
I asked my
I
dad if he
had
wanted
that
to have
before.
a drink. I asked my dad if he wanted to have a drink of it with me, and he said no. I was like, bet I'm gonna outdo him. I did not. I had
I
the
learned
first
that
cup.
lesson.
I had the first cup. Apparently, I was fine. When I got to the second one and sat back down at the bonfire, I don't remember shit after that.
you got that 4 low special going on for you.
Yeah, as soon as I sat back down at the bonfire with the second cup of moonshine, I don't remember a damn thing.
Red Bull gives you wings, but moonshine puts you in four-wheel
Real
drive.
Yeah, yeah.
But from what I was told, I tried to help one of my little sisters with math homework.
Gerbil,
You can do
gerbil, gerber.
I guess, I don't know.
Man said if you use the radiometer.
I apparently kept drinking moonshine afterwards. Almost fell in the bonfire. And was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow with my other little sister. And then woke up on the couch.
That was probably the fastest track yet. You had 2 and you were gone.
Well, I had some drinks prior to that. But the moonshine really kicked it into gear.
I learned
No,
my
I
lesson
think-
with moonshine real quick. Ended that
think-
night with a 50-piece chicken nugget.
I think
Sounds
moonshine's
like a
good.
win.
Sounds like
It
a
was-
win.
Oh my god.
I think Moonshine's
Yeah,
my
Mizumar
fast
got to
track.
sleep. Colin got to sleep in a bed with a girl. You had 50-piece nuggets. You were having the time of your life singing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." Mine just ended in alcohol poisoning and depression.
What about you? What about you, Fallon? Like, what was your fast track when you were able to drink?
So I still think it was the first. It was the first and only time I'd ever blacked out, and it was in Michigan for my aunt's wedding in 2022. That was moonshine, because that's the biggest thing. So we had the red solo
It is the
cups,
hardest thing.
and it was homemade moonshine. It was apple pie moonshine.
Oh yeah.
And my uncle was sitting there, and they only had a couple gallon jugs, like milk jugs, full of it. And they were like, "Here, we'll go ahead and give you some." So they give me a red solo cup. It's a decent sized one. They fill it up, and then my uncle looks at me, and goes, "Chug it." And I said, "All right."
Oh.
I was like, I'm not opposed. I'm like, I can hold my liquor. So
Oh,
My mama ain't raised no bitch.
Exactly,
became
bro.
one.
So I'm sitting there and I down that first cup. All right, I down that first cup and I hadn't eaten anything. So I start feeling a volcano inside me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I feel a little bit sick, but it's fine. And then he goes, "You want another cup?" And I was like, "Sure." So he pours me a second cup. After that second cup, everything became smiles. I think I spent the rest of the night that I was there smiling. And I just remember walking around and progressively drinking more. I remember we had a keg for like a keg of Bud Light. They had bought like a full keg of Bud Light and put it in one of the big trash cans. And we had that sitting in ice over in like the corner because it was my aunt's wedding. So it was in a barn on her property. And we're sitting there and I had 12 cups of beer. It was Bud Light. So 12 red solo cups of that. And then I had the 2 cups of moonshine. And then one of my other aunts was giving me back-to-back doubles of, I don't know. I wasn't tasting it anymore. It was just here. And I was like, okay. So it was back-to-back doubles. And I remember I was out in the barn and then I woke up at like 7:30 the next morning because my parents had drove up there. They drove up there with my brother. I flew because I had to come back to North Carolina for my job at the time, working security. So I had to be up at 7:30 to catch a flight up at Detroit at 9:30 and come back to NC. I woke up at 7:30 with a puddle of vomit next to me, confused, and the room's still spinning. Like, this is the first time I had ever woken up still drunk. And they're like, "Dude, you're going to be late. We got to get you to the airport." So I'm stumbling, hitting walls and shit, trying to get down the stairs. I'm like, I don't even remember getting inside. I remember being in the barn, and somehow I teleported into the house and upstairs. And I'm like, who carried me? Because, I'm 6'9". I'm a whole lot of dude to be carrying around, I want to know who's lugging me.
That's not a dude.
I mean, like, I'm sitting
4 folks.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like,
You got
I want to know who had a tag team carrying me up. Like,
What you don't know is they hoisted a winch outside the window and put you.
Probably they had an entire
You
pulley
didn't get
system
tag team carried.
pulling me up.
No. You didn't get tag team carried. You got funeral carried back
Yeah.
up wherever the fuck you were at. You had
Grab a
a
limb.
4-man funeral carry.
Grab a
They
limb.
just threw some duct tape around your body to keep you stiff and just carried you up.
Dude, I don't know. It was magic. And 1 minute I'm in the barn, and the next thing you know, I'm upstairs the next morning. And the worst part was I'm sitting there, and I could not find my belt. I put on some shorts, and I couldn't find my belt. So here it is, 7:30 in the morning. I'm sitting downstairs, violently, I'm sick. I'm throwing up. I can't get off the toilet. And I'm in tears. I'm crying because I'm in so much pain, and I'm confused, and I don't want to, fly back. We get to Detroit, and at this point, my eyes are red, and I feel so sick, and everything's still spinning. And I go to, is it TSA in airports? I'm sitting there, and I go through security, and I'm holding up my pants because I forgot my belt. So I'm sitting there, pants sag, and I'm trying not to drop my shorts, and I have my luggage with me. I go through TSA, and they're like, just go, you're good. I'm like, thanks. As I'm, sniffling. And I go and I sit down, and I have a window seat, right? And I'm sitting down, I still feel sick. Shit's still spinning. And I'm sitting there with the meanest hangover. My head's fucking just pounding. And I'm sitting there, and I open up the shutter window, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking out the window. I'm just staring out the window. And then this older couple sits next to me, and I'm just sitting there. And she said that, she goes, are you okay? And I'm like, no. She goes, okay. And
No.
and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm not okay, but I'll be okay. She goes, okay. She goes, well, yeah. And I'm like, all right. So we're sitting there and we take off. And when we take off, everything that was still left in my stomach is moving. So I'm sitting back in this chair and I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. As I'm just sitting here get taken off. And then it's like a 2-hour flight. Well, no, it's about hour and a half, 2-hour flight from Detroit to Raleigh. And we're sitting there and I plug in my AirPods and I have some like music playing and I'm just sitting here like crying like a bitch, sitting here looking out the window the entire time. And I think at one point I ended up getting handed some tissues. I can't remember if it was the flight attendant or the lady next to me, but they were all very concerned for me. And the worst part is landing in North Carolina. So you go from like Michigan, when it's 70 degrees in the summer and it's sort of cool, you get a wind and it's not bad.
Yeah.
But then you go to North Carolina and I'm tall,
And
so I
it's straight
smacked my fucking head twice getting out of that plane. I get out and as
Igor
soon
doesn't have
as
to worry about that.
I do it, as soon as I get out, it's like 110, humid, and then it just starts pop-up thunderstorm. So I'm sitting here, I'm angry, I'm crying, my head hurts because I smacked it, I'm still hungover, and then I have to drive another hour and some change home, and I'm just sitting there mad. Like I got in my car.
At least when it's raining, they can't tell you're crying anymore.
No, they could tell. I'm sniffling. Just
Allergies, bro. That's allergies.
yeah, you're right.
No,
But yeah, it was bad.
I think what did me in that day of the quince was because I remember I woke up at like 11 in the afternoon because it was during the summer, no school or whatever. And all I had that day was a bowl of Cookie Crisp, the little wolf cereal with the little chocolate chip cookies. I had that for breakfast. That was it. And that's all I remember is I woke up, I had my bowl of cereal, watched a little bit of cartoons, went next door, and that was it.
Yeah, see, for me, I woke up, didn't eat anything. I didn't drink any water, and I was like, I'll be fine. I've never blacked out. I've never had any problems drinking. I can mix. I feel invincible. And I also get competitive because both of you know Zach. So he was just like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing Jaeger bombs behind their back. And I was like, oh, you think you're better than me? So I started doing Jaeger bombs, and it was like a competition of Jaeger bombs. So we just kept going. And in between every Jaeger bomb, I was like, I need a sipper because we were also playing beer pong. So I just was just chugging whatever was on hand. I was like, I'm invincible. My stomach can take it. And then I was very much reminded that I'm human because
No, it could not.
because the first time I was just having a great time. We were partying, and then I was like, oh, gotta throw up. Went to the restroom, and I was like, all right, let me do my breathing exercise. I'll be
Oh,
fine.
man.
You give yourself a pep talk in the bathroom. You're looking at yourself like you're fine. And that should have been the kicker of been like, hey man, like
Maybe you're
let's
not
be
fine.
let's be smart about this. Maybe you should drink some water, eat a French fry, do something. And
Eat a
in my mind,
French-
I'm like, oh, dude, I'm good. I just recovered. I'm rallying. This is rallying. I figured out that is not rallying. That's denial. So I went back to the kitchen. Lo and behold, Zach was already doing Jaeger bombs. I was in the bathroom. I was like, oh, you think you're better than me? So I do 2 more Jaeger bombs back to back. And I'm like, yeah. And we were running out of like Red Bull. So we just started doing Jaeger straight.
That's rough.
Yeah, and then the second time rolls around, I'm like, oh, I'm good. So I go, like, I'm not good. Like, I roll back to the bathroom. I try and give myself a pep talk, and I'm like, okay, you're fine. And just as I was like ready to go back out there again, that was my rally part 2. I was going to keep drinking. I smelled like the little particle of something foul and just projectile vomited all over his sink. And you could see the initial splash on the faucet,
That's
and then it
gross.
leads down the counter, and then it was just yelling at the toilet. I was screaming. I was pissed. Like I'll just wah. And I didn't know this at the time. While I was, making peace with the porcelain god, I didn't know that the bathroom was like adjacent to a wall that led to the other bathroom, and Zach was just taking a piss. And by the time I felt fine and my eyes weren't blurry anymore, I stood up and I half-assed cleaned the counter because I felt bad. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I walk out into the hallway. The same time he walks back from the other bathroom, he looks at me with a concerned face, and I look at him like I just had the worst night of my life. And he's all like, "You good?" And I'm like, "You heard that?" And he's like, "I heard everything." And I was like, yeah, maybe it's time for me to not. So I sat on the couch, and that's the last thing I remember until the next morning. Mind you, this was only like at 11. And I slept until 2 o'clock the next day.
Oh my
And I
god.
woke up and everything was just in slow motion. Like I felt like the world was
fucking
dizzy
hate
and
that.
pulsating. I would like wave my hand and I'm like, whoa, like, whoa. And I was like, I feel like death. And my poor buddy I was visiting at the time, because this was in Guam, Izzy, he's just like, dude, are you okay? Let's go get you some food. Like, here's some water. And I was like, I don't feel like eating or drinking anything. Just leave me alone. And I just curled up on the couch. Later on, I eventually did get off. Went to McDonald's. I took 2 bites of a cheeseburger and I was like, I can't. I just can't. I'm done, man. And we were driving around. So that didn't make things even better. Like, yeah, all of that was a blur. I remember the McDonald's and that's it. I don't know where else we went.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Until finally reached our destination and I threw up again. I must have threw up everything I had the night before because it was just bile. And after that, I went back to bed again and woke up and I was like, I don't feel like death. I think I recovered.
I survived.
I did it. I'm not invincible, but I survived.
Achievement get.
Yeah.
No, it reminds me of a time when I was here in Arizona and I met up with some old friends from high school and they were going to ASU for school and everything. And they invited me to go with them to a dorm party. And this is when I was like, okay, you know what? I'll be DD, whatever. And I just remembered we started at ASU, drove all the way to Flagstaff to NAU for another dorm party, and then we ended the night at GCU, Grand Canyon University, which is close to where we all live. And I remember got everyone home safe, and I sat there and I was like, okay, cool, everyone's cool. And I looked around and we're missing a body. We're missing a person. And so I sat there and I'm like, I'm DD. I'm not supposed to be the babysitter of the group, right? And then I start panicking. I'm like, oh
Like
fuck,
the
did I leave
complete
him?
Opposite. You're
I
supposed to
sat
be the
there and
babysitter.
I was like, oh fuck, did I leave him in Flagstaff? Did I leave him at the start at ASU, or is he at GCU? I was like, fuck, I don't know where the fuck this dude is. So I go outside and I'm trying to call him and everything. I go outside and it's dark as fucking at the front yard where we were staying at. And I walk and I hit something with my foot and I'm like, oh shit, what the hell's in the middle of the lawn? Because they keep their lawn very clean, very.
Let me guess, you found the body.
I look down and he's tall. He's like 6'4", and he's passed out on the floor, just like one of like angel, like an
I mean,
angel, just
anything
fucking.
past 5'8" is tall, isn't it?
And so I looked down, I looked at him, and I go, "Cool, we found him." And I go back in. I'm trying to get everyone else, but everyone's already passed out. We got one dude in the bathtub
Drop a
cuddling
waypoint
pillow.
and move on.
Yeah, one's in the bathtub cuddling a pillow, crying. The other one's hugging the toilet, fucking singing a sea shanty for some reason. And I was like, you know what? Everyone's here. We're good. The next morning, we all wake up. It's like 1 in the afternoon, and everyone's going, "Hey, where the fuck is so and so?" I'm like, "Oh, I think I left him in the front yard." And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." They go out to the front yard. This man is sunburnt. Like he is fucking crispy. And so we
Uh,
all go over to him and we're like shaking him. We're like, "Hey, bud, wake up, whatever." And he's giving the fuck off. And so the other friend thought it was funny. Okay, cool. Finds a stick and thought it would be funny to whack him with said stick.
On the sunburnt side or the unsunburnt side?
Probably the
The
sunburn.
sunburned side.
oh, he
The
was up.
sunburned side. And so he cracks it, and it sounds like a fucking bullwhip cracking onto him. And the stick breaks. He jumps up, and as soon as he jumped up, got on his feet, everything hit him at once, and you just see a projectile vomit to the street.
Ooh.
And he comes to and he goes, "Where the fuck are we? And how the fuck did we get here?" And we're all looking at him like, "We got here last night." He's like, "Doug, I don't remember leaving ASU. Where did we go?"
Isn't that the start?
Yes, it was the start of everything. And I looked at him. I was like, "Well, we were in Flagstaff for NAU because you had a friend, and then we went to GCU for another party and everything." He's like, "We drove all that time?" I was like, "Yeah, you were pretty coherent. Like, you were conscious." He's like, "I don't remember talking to any of you." He's like, "We were talking about your fucking degree. Like, you were sitting there complaining about the civil engineering portion of everything. Like, oh, these dumb motherfuckers, you put a 2x..." Like, he's going on a rant. He's like, "I was talking about school." And he's like, "Yeah, you were talking about how you were confused as fuck, and then but you explained everything." Like, we pulled up a notepad, he had everything drawn out, and he's like, "I think I need to start taking this class drunk because that's some good ass fucking work." And I was like, "Oh, this is the people we're trusting to build shit, is someone that can get good product drinking." Oh, these houses are fucked.
Yeah. It reminds me, we went to IB a few times. You were there. Tim, you were there. You didn't begin it. I mean, you began coherent, but by the end of the night, you were getting tossed in the sand by Matthew.
Oh yeah.
And yakking in the drive-through of Wendy's.
Better than the backseat of the car.
Yeah, the backseat was lit.
PB is so fun, but I hate you for it because you took me out on Halloween night because my birthday was the next day, and you're like, "You know what? We're gonna celebrate your birthday. Fuck it."
That was a good time.
And I all I remember is I'm sitting there on the wall. Me and you got into a disagreement. You told me that you're gonna kick me off, and I said, "Bet you fucking won't." And next thing you know, I'm on my back in the sand, just
Split
oh,
second.
shit.
So you may not have remembered, for context to everybody else, it was his birthday, and Lee was there, and he was all like, "I don't care. It's my birthday. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm gonna drink." So, as the good friends that we were, proceeded to force feed him 3 giant margaritas from Baja Beach Cafe because they're not small. We made him
They're
chug
like
one.
44 ounce. They're like 40, 60 ounce fucking margaritas.
Yeah, so we made him chug one, chug half of the other one, and then I think you either were just sipping on it or chug the rest of it. Then the third one you got about halfway, and then you're like, "We're gonna take it to go," because they were shutting down. So we went outside, and you were feeling pretty good at that point. And whenever you feel pretty good, you start talking a lot of smack. And I was also feeling good, so that's when I stopped tolerating all the smack. So you sat down on that thing, and you were talking smack, and I was like, "Mizumir, I'm a Spartan kick you," and you were like, "Bet you won't." And I don't know if I had supercomputer processing, because without missing a beat, I raised my leg up, kicked you square in the chest, and you went flying off that wall into the sand. And that was one of the funniest, one of the only scenes actually I remember from that night. I kid you not, like, you've seen those like cartoons where they get hit by a cannonball and both their hands and feet go flying in one direction? It's exactly how he looked. He just flies off, and all he hears on the sand.
You know what's more impressive though? Right? He does this is Sparta kick on me, right? I'm still holding the margarita in my hand, perfectly fine.
He's just holding it up, like barely
No.
spilled anything, groaning like.
And
Gotta make sure liquor's okay.
I got back up. I looked at him. I was like, "Good kick," and started drinking the rest of that margarita.
Yep, and then he just chugged the rest of it, and we kept going.
All right. So,
oh man.
So we got Jaeger, tequila, and moonshine. Those are our top three.
And Everclear because.
Well, Everclear's a byproduct.
That's a fast track for anyone.
Yeah, Everclear is pretty much like I'm trying to put fuel in myself, not my car.
I'm trying to have a good night, but not remember it.
Yeah.
The only reason I say Everclear is because it was my first time ever having it. I didn't know what Everclear was. My friend just gave me the bottle and said, "Hey,
Somehow
take a
found out real quick.
He said, "Hey, take a swig," and my mind when he said take a swig, I did like 4 gulps of it, and instantly.
That is not a swig.
How did you get through half the first gulp without noticing?
No, because by the first gulp, I sat there and I went, "It burns a little bit, but fuck it."
Wait a second.
We're gonna keep going.
Is this alcohol or rubbing alcohol?
When I finished it, I dropped it, fell to the ground, and went, "Was it spicy?" And my friend looked at me and went, "I said a swig and not a chug." And I was like, "Go home or go hard." And
I don't think you did either of those. I think you surpassed chugging and swigging.
No.
But gulping.
As soon as I said that, all I remember is my friends going, "Are you good?" and nothing else. And my friend went, "Yeah, you fell face first." It was like you were kind of responsive. You were groaning, but I'm pretty sure you just passed the fuck out and was knocked out. And I didn't wake up the next day until 5 p.m. And we started that night at 7:30. And that's how I started the night, was just those 4 big gulps.
Cool.
And woke up at 5:30 looking at the ceiling going, "Why am I here? Am I in a hospital?" And that's it. My friends were like, "Yeah, you fell to the ground. We brought you upstairs, put a bag next to you, and continued on the night." I was like, "Okay, cool. What the fuck was in it?" Because it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Why am I just now waking up? They're like, "We checked your pulse. We made sure you weren't dead." And I was
like the good homies they are. They're like, "Well, he's not dead, so he's good."
But I woke up feeling like shit. I went home, went back to sleep. I think I was just done for like 2-3 days after that.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've only had Everclear one time, and I did not continue sipping, gulping, or etc. I smelled it, and I was like, "Well, for science, I'm gonna taste it," and then I'm like, "You know what? I'm done. I'm gonna drink something else."
I ended up doing shots of it with friends to see who could stomach it better.
Who won?
I don't remember.
You all are winners.
No, they were all something. I don't know if I'd say
we were outside drinking. One of my friends said they were going to drive home, so I had to chase them down trying to get their keys away from them, and apparently I tripped on my own feet, face planted the side of a bench. And I don't remember that happening.
Is that why you look like that?
No, he was born that way.
Pre-bench or
the
post-bench?
bench didn't help.
But apparently then they were trying to get me back inside, and someone brought up MAs, and I just robot all the way back to the room. And after that, apparently I didn't make it into my room, just in the door frame, before I just fell to the floor and passed out.
Damn.
And that's where I woke up.
That's when you do that little kick when you have something sticking out of the closet and you just kind of kick it so you could close the door.
Little kick.
No, they left the door open. They gave me a pillow, and that's where I woke up.
Oh boy, good times.
All right.
I woke up and saw the fucking like scab gash on my cheek. I'm like, the fuck happened?
When'd that get there? All right. So
anyways, what's next?
All right. So our second topic for this week, from our topics channel in Discord, is if Apple and Samsung didn't make phones, which company do you think would be on top? We'll start again with you, Jay.
I'm gonna go previously with Nokia. I mean, let's be honest, they made bulletproof phones to begin with. They had great potential. They started going on the up and up, and then obviously they fell off. But if they could maintain that kind of, because even now people still talk about how Nokia was unbreakable. Like, can you imagine just if they promoted off of that and kept making their phones? I feel like they would definitely have like that high of a standing to be like, well, even if we don't have the best product, it's unbreakable. You have like an OtterBox, but that's the whole phone. You're just lugging around an electronic concrete block. Like, you're good.
Yeah, but
You're a brick.
But if Nokia was still a thing, because I agree with you, Nokia, because I had a Nokia growing up and that was pretty fucking solid. But if they made like the size of an iPhone 15 or something and it was still like a brick, can you imagine dropping that shit on your fucking head when you're in bed? Like,
I have, dude. You could use it as a weapon. Like, honestly,
did.
you had to get it registered, bro. I swear. Because you'd sit there and you just see somebody grab that Nokia. If they get mad and they like Gronk spike that thing at you, dude, you're dead.
That's creating a crater. It's creating
There's been multiple stories. One of the reasons why they called it a bulletproof phone or like the unbreakable phone, there were several stories of a guy saved by a Nokia in like a shooting because it got lodged in it and it still worked. It still worked. You couldn't use two buttons, but the phone still turned on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like our phones today, they're flat. Nokia is like double that. It's like that big. And you know what? If you were to just lob that at someone, they're going down. That's it.
Yeah, they also did multiple tests like back in like the old YouTube times. They would chuck the Nokia phones and it would bounce around, crack the tile, and the phone was just fine.
Dude, I bet
charged it worked fine.
If you threw a Nokia at Mike Tyson in his prime, you could probably knock him out with how strong those things were.
Bro, that's how they cheated. They just put the Nokias on the inside of their glove.
Yeah. Go check for weight,
Brass knuckles, I got Nokias.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Well,
they made memes about it, like how tanks have like that ballistic cover on it. They had like Nokias covering the top. They had Nokia bulletproof vests. Like, we should have just capitalized on that. That was the new age body armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need Kevlar.
I would
just Nokia.
Yeah, I would say besides Nokia, I would say like the LG phones. LG
the flip phones?
Terrible, but
LG definitely fell off, and they didn't have as much popularity as Nokia. Just like HTC, when those phones first started coming out, they were revolutionary because it had a built-in IR reader. So you could use it as like a remote. You could program it as a universal. You could do a lot with the IR reading.
Yeah.
But after that, they also fell off. And what's another one? Motorola, they tried to come back.
Motorola
still couldn't get as popular.
Yeah,
they're mostly for
really good
walkie-talkies and
work,
construction sites.
Yeah, but as far as phones, I guess their popularity definitely did get high enough to become a good competitor because Nokia fell off. So I guess I would kind of have to change my answer to Motorola because they have stood the test of time because they are still making phones and they're still popular. They came out with that new phone, the Flip one, calling back to the old Flip Razor Motorola's.
Right,
so actually, I will change my answer to Motorola because I think it would replace Samsung.
Say Motorola, yeah, they still. I actually, you can go out in public, randomly hear "Hello, Moto," and you're like, who the hell's got the Motorola? You're like, there's somebody in here. Like one of us is not like the other because I hear "Hello, Moto," and I'm like, which one of you's got it?
Which one of you?
So,
well, I'm gonna be honest. I do.
Oh, you have a Motorola?
I don't use it anymore, but I still have it.
No,
that's when they came out with the Z series because you could. Again, they were trying to be on the up and up because you could put stuff on the back of your phone because it had like a lock system, so you could have like a Polaroid camera, a speaker, a projector, which I still have. Yeah, that's why I got it because I was like, wow, that's something that wasn't really done before because Samsung and iPhone both haven't done where it's like a mod that fits on the back of your phone that
just the
connects
same
directly.
Shit, different design.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna support Motorola, but the
You said that
operating
was
system
Motorola?
kind of started going lame. So you
See,
said what?
What did you say that was? Motorola had like
Yeah, look up the Motorola Z series, like Z Play, Z Force.
while he's doing that, another phone company. I don't know if they were ever classified to be like partner with Samsung, but was Droid. If I don't know if anyone remembered the Droid phones
I
when they
remember
were
The
Droid.
actual
That's Google,
Android
wasn't it?
Droid phones.
that's like
Yeah,
Google's?
the
yeah, the
Android.
Droid. Where
They
like if you
they
turned
were
it on, it would say Droid.
Yeah, that was popular
Yeah.
for a time, but that I feel like it died pretty fast.
Really
Like
quickly.
it was just a hype, and then everybody's like, oh, okay, there's better stuff because iPhone was starting to ramp up more. Samsung started more, Motorola, and Droid just kind of died out.
Yeah, but I mean, the only other phone company I could think of that would be like popular besides Samsung and iPhone if they weren't a thing would probably also be BlackBerry. And but the only reason I would say that is just for like big corporate businesses would probably keep BlackBerry going.
BlackBerry. I
Uh,
remember Obama made those really
yeah.
popular because you'd see Obama having a BlackBerry phone. That was a big thing I remember.
But
It
at the
it
same time,
didn't
I couldn't
really.
imagine. I couldn't imagine BlackBerry making like. I remember they first did it, and it flopped. It was you still had half of it was a keyboard, but the other half was touchscreen. I was just like,
What's the
that's
point?
so fucking. Yeah, I was like, what's the point? Because you got that little trackpad in the middle of it, like one of those, like the little ball to fucking go around the droid screen and like click on shit and do all that shit.
Well, I could see the appeal because it's the equivalent of
There we
hooking up
go.
a Bluetooth keyboard to to like an iPad. You don't want to actually tap on the screen. You could just tap on an actual keyboard because sometimes you have to worry about haptic feedbacks and like hitting the right key, but you could actually feel the right key. It's just kind of weird that the screen would be so small, but then the keyboard would also be
There it
small.
is.
So like I guess it was a little ahead of their time. If they made bigger phones, it would make more sense. But I mean,
Huh.
it was still good for the time. People liked it, but then they just wanted bigger phones.
Anyone remember those slide phones?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I actually still have
Slide it
them.
over for the keyboard.
I still have them.
Yeah, see, I messed up once because I had one of those and I wanted to clean underneath between the keyboard and the screen. And I slid like a little card under there. And I guess I snipped or did something with it when I slid it under there. And the whole phone stopped working.
That's crazy because I also had one of those, and I dropped it off the top of a roller coaster, and it worked. I picked it up and it worked perfectly after I got it back.
Yeah,
I
mine
Slides
was.
aren't built like they used to.
Nope.
Not at all.
I remember.
Yeah, mine was a Samsung.
I remember in ninth grade, I had an iPhone 4. And, those things were bricks. They could have
Mm.
competed with Nokia. However, they didn't have the durability because I had one of my friends in my freshman year of high school. I had the iPhone 4. That thing had the glass back on it, and the camera kind of protruded out a little bit. So I was sitting there and talking. No, that's back when they actually had the camera like flush against the
It was like
phone.
incorporated in
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
curvature of it.
Yeah. And so I remember dropping it on the back, right? And I heard the crack and I went, oh, my phone, and I go down, I pick it up, and the entire like camera lens and stuff was shattered for the I guess it'd be the front facing camera or the camera on the back of the phone. But anyways, I'm sitting there and I pick it up and I turn around and the entire back shattered. And I'm like, I just got this, like my entire day is ruined. I'm upset. It is what it is. So a few months later, I'm sitting there and I have that phone, and then I went to pick it up, and I guess when I went to pick it up, the camera fell all the way to the bottom. It was still attached, but it fell to the bottom of the glass. So I'm sitting here looking at my phone. I turn on the camera and I just see cracked glass, and I'm like, the camera works, but it's just cracked
It's in
glass.
the wrong position now.
It's like you have a fucked up kaleidoscope that you're looking through.
Fallon kind of reminds me of the kid that had the fucked up phone that had like tape all over it, the fucking duct tape on the back of it to hold the glass in, and like the scotch
Okay,
tape
I'll
on the front
admit-
of the screen.
I'll admit I did the same thing because this is back when I got a phone for free and it was the newest phone because it was either that or go back to like a flip phone. because my dad was kind of cheap and I needed a phone. So one of my friends gave me one of those 5G, the really colorful ones, you know, where they had like bright blue,
Yeah.
bright yellow, bright red in the iPhone. I think it was the 5G. 5C?
Oh, the
I think it was
5C, the
5C.
iPhone 5C.
The 5C. And I was holding on to that for dear life. I didn't care. I couldn't replace the screen because I didn't have a screen protector on it. So it was the screen itself. It was broken. It was cracked along the side. I have super glued it numerous times.
That's
And it was so bad that the pieces of the glass that were part of the screen were falling off on the corners, and I could see like the actual electronics behind it. And I was like, this is still the nicest phone I own. I'm holding on to it. And then one day I accidentally, you know how like you could drop a phone and you're like, it's completely fine, but like the most inconvenient thing happens to it and it just decides to stop working. So I dropped it multiple times, hence why it was cracked to begin with. And then one day I was like, oh, I'm going to sit in the car and I'm going to put it on that little pocket that sits in the door. Put it in there, and I guess I missed it. It just slid from the top to the bottom of the door. Whole thing stopped working. And I was like, well, back to the flip phone, I guess.
That reminds me of my brother. My brother, he's an Android person, right? So my dad and my brother prefer Android. My mom and I are Apple. So they'll get
I knew there was
Samsungs.
something wrong with you.
Basic
I'm-
operating system.
I'm a whore for iOS, okay?
I think you're just
Yeah,
a
you-
whore.
No, I'm not.
Hey, what was that snack that your girl got you?
That's not the point. You leave the pumpkin spice out of this.
Oh,
Statement
Anyways.
stands.
Anyways, I'll never forget my brother was sitting there and he went to the bathroom one time and he's one of those like those tablet kids. So he'll run around, he'll watch videos and shit, and he'll be scrolling all the time while he's walking around. And I remember him going to the bathroom, and next thing you know, I hear the loudest drop. And then he runs out. I dropped my phone in the toilet and it doesn't work anymore. And he's sitting there and he's got like that wide stance, you know? And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there, and you would think I'd have a better reaction than just put it in rice. That's all I said. I was just put it in rice. I didn't know what else to say at the time. I was like, I don't know, 17. So I was like, just put your phone in rice. He goes, where's the rice at? I'm like, you live here too. How the fuck do you not know where the rice is? And it was just, I just remember that because he was sitting there and he had an Android. And I remember he sat there and he was just like a hawk, like a vulture, just watching his phone and the rice. And he's like, can I check it yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. Just give it a few hours. He goes, why am I putting it in rice? I'm like, I tell you to Google it, but your phone doesn't work.
So you know that's
No.
actually a myth?
I mean,
Just
if
to a
I'm,
certain extent.
I say if I'm
That's an
desperate enough,
extent it would work.
So
Yeah.
here's the myth, because I had a guy who worked with electronics, right? So the whole myth behind putting your phone in rice, because the rice absorbs the water, that only works for the water on the outside. Rice does not have the capacity to actually pull water from the
Moisture from-
seals
yeah.
of the phone. Yeah, it doesn't have the capacity to do that. The reason why they tell you to put your phone in rice is because that's the longest amount of time that you won't touch your phone. Because you know most people are like, I need my phone to work, so they keep trying to turn it on, they keep messing with it. But if you put your phone in rice, it naturally will just dry up. So that's the longest amount of time people will leave their phone alone without messing with it for it to actually dry up and finish. And that's why
Yeah.
they tell you to put it in rice. It's all a myth, like one of those wives' tale. You put it
Well,
in rice.
I did it just so
it'll
he'd stop
remedy
bitching
it.
about it. I did it so he'd just
Is
stop
it a
bitching
myth
about
if
it.
it still works?
It doesn't work because of the rice.
It's a
If
half
you just
truth.
leave your phone,
It's a
it'll
half
work.
truth.
But you could argue it does work because of the rice.
It's a half truth.
Yeah, I
We'll
was
put it
gonna
at
say,
that.
It
still using-
works because you're not touching it, not solely
Because
because
you're
of the
using
rice.
But the rice is a
You're using the
factor.
rice.
So, in
The
your
rice is a factor.
regard, your reasoning, yes, technically it's right, but you can't be saying it's because of the rice directly pulling the
not.
moisture. It could
But
just
it
be
is
the
because
rice
of the
because it's
rice.
sitting in there.
I think it depends
it's
on the
because of the
angle of the
rice.
sun. If you have the angle of the sun on the rice, you know, it draws the
Give you an
moisture.
angle.
You seem like a right curve to me.
I'm lefty.
I think you're beyond a 90 degree because you're acting pretty obtuse.
All right, go home.
No, but
I'm done.
What the fuck was that?
That was bad. That was bad.
But my brother last week, right? I came home and me and my daughter are sitting there, and he's like, "I gotta go to Apple get your brother's phone fixed." I was like, "Oh, he cracked the screen again." He's like, "No, he plugged it in to charge it one night, and I guess his battery exploded in the phone because it expanded." And like I looked at his phone, you could see the battery expanded, and you just see the little opening of the back of the screen. Just,
Throw it
that's
out.
a battery.
Yeah, because those are
And
lithium
so-
batteries too.
And I sat there and I looked at my brother. I was like, "So did you fall asleep watching YouTube with it plugged in and it overheated?" He's like, "No, it was the first time I plugged it in and it just fucking."
Was it the
Obliterated
Samsungs?
itself?
Was it the Samsungs that were recalled for blowing up in
No,
random
The
places?
ones that wouldn't let
it's an
on
it's an
airplanes?
iPhone.
Yeah.
That was a wild thing.
Is that the
Jeez.
S8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the number, but yeah.
It was the S8 that was I think it was. Hold on. Was it the S8? Let me see.
I remember that happening though. It
But-
was just all over.
Yeah.
People's Samsungs were exploding in their hand. Could you imagine?
Under their
Oh,
pillow and
Yeah.
shit.
Well, why would you put
Yeah,
your phone
it's
under your
cra-
pillow?
It's crazy though, because like that was going on, right? And then, like if you went through TSA, they would ask you during that
It
time,
was the
like, "Hey, what
Samsung
kind of phone-"
Galaxy Note 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I just remembered because my buddy had it, and he didn't have it, but he went through TSA, and the TSA was asking him, and he was like, "Hey, what kind of phone do you have? Like, do you have this phone that's being recalled?" And he's like, "Why does that fucking matter?" He's like, "Well, because if you have this phone, you can't take it on with you." And he looked at the TSA agent, and he's like, "Do I look like somebody that wants to blow up a plane?" Because he's like, "But the phone's battery will explode if you fly up with it." And it was just wild to think, like, during that time, like if you went through TSA, you had to like give your phone up, and they had to put it in like a different compartment so it can go with you, and you get it at the end of your flight. And it was just like, wow, phones are now the thing that you can't get on a plane with.
I can't even imagine spending an entire flight, especially if it's a long flight, without a phone. You're just sitting there and you're like, well, I guess I'll sleep.
just
Oh, dude,
staring.
I can. I will pass out.
I
Is
can't.
that
plane.
alcohol induced passing out?
No, dude. I've flown so much.
That's just your
as a
age catching
kid
up?
That fuck you. that I can fall asleep before the plane takes off. Like I will be knocked out. before
No
it's off the ground.
music, no nothing.
I mean, I'll have my headphones in, but
yeah, so imagine not having
Oh,
music.
even if I don't, it doesn't bother me. The sound
Wow.
doesn't bother me. I'll just
I couldn't do
pass
that.
out.
I couldn't do
Does
that.
that
No,
come with
I know a
age?
guy.
no, because I was 23, I think, 23 or 24, coming back from.
When was that? Like early
South Korea?
2000s?
You're only 2 years younger than me.
Nobody knew that. Nobody knew
Time
that.
them.
But I came back from South Korea, and the people next to me had to check to make sure I was still breathing because I passed out for 8 hours straight, just head down on my tray table,
Oh, I know
with a
your neck was
pillow,
hurting.
and just gone. No,
Sir, we're
some
about
of
to
the-
land the plane. Wake
some of
up,
the
sir.
best sleep I've gotten, but
I am
the
sleeping.
flight attendant tried to wake me up twice for food because it was an international flight, and I didn't move an inch. I didn't wake up. I didn't do anything. And they actually, once I woke up, they told me that they checked to make sure I was still breathing while I was sleeping. I
No,
was
dude,
like,
that
"Oh,
reminds
that's nuts."
That was a
It
much needed
reminds me-
sleep.
It reminds me of the flight coming back from UAE. And I remember one of the dudes sat there and he was like, "I'm about to sleep through this entire flight." I was like, "There ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way." This man pulls out melatonin gummies, right? And I thought he was going to just pop the one or two. No, this man had a handful, like he was about to eat some Skittles and just
Oh
popped them
no.
in.
He was going to
Like,
fight the
Yeah,
hat
that
man.
shit all natural. I will pass
Like
out on a
he,
flight.
he took like 7 or 8 of them bitches, like a handful, ate them like Skittles, and then the entire flight he's just zombied. Just
He was going to
head
fight the
posted
hat
up on
man.
the-
Props to him. Because I couldn't do that. I did that
He
one
started-
time.
He
And the
started a
crazy
new
part is, right,
campaign in Dreamland, and he was trying to beat it.
Man's playing
that
hardcore
flight,
survival.
Beat it.
that flight was like a 25-hour flight because we stopped in Qatar, we stopped in Ireland, and we stopped in Virginia, right? Halfway through,
Oh,
when
you
we
were
were
on the
flying
different
from,
flight.
yeah, from when we were flying from Ireland back to the States, I remember he woke up halfway through the flight, took a piss, sat back down, and popped 7 more of them fucking gummies, and just went back
Hold
to.
up.
I was
He
like,
woke up after the first 7?
yeah, yeah, because like I just sat there and I was just baffled because I was like, can you like I sat there and I was looking at one of the other people. I was like, can you overdose on melatonin? He's like, I'm pretty sure you can, but at the same time, you could probably overdose on fucking over the counter Tylenol if you really fucking wanted to, or
That's a little
just
different than melatonin.
yeah.
Dude,
But I was
imagine
like,
going for round 2 with the Hat Man. That man's wild. He said, I want
Motherfucker's
one.
on a mission.
Hell yeah. He said he owes him money.
yeah, but
I'm coming for that ass.
when we landed in Virginia, I asked him, I was like, so how'd you sleep? He's like, I slept like a fucking baby. I was a badass in my dream. I was like, oh, so you were able to dream? He's like, yeah, dude, that was like probably the best 8-hour dream I've had. I was like, how the
Motherfucker
fuck
was
do you
in a
remember it?
coma.
Yeah. Be like, I'm
So
surprised you did wake up.
you don't. It's not necessarily considered an overdose, but it can disrupt your sleep cycles and cause other acute and chronic symptoms. So I guess to a certain degree it is an overdose. It's just not considered an overdose.
Because
But
I
either
remember.
way, that was like 16 in total. I watched that man eat, and I'm just like, props to you. I'm gonna watch this movie.
I remember having an episode of sleep paralysis after taking melatonin so much, and that was the first and last time I had that sleep paralysis thing go on. Because like I woke up and the way that like my bed was placed, I was in high school, and my bed's kind of like facing the back wall, and the door's like off to the right here, and I could see kind of out into the kitchen. We have the overhead light on for the stove, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking, and I can't move at this point, and I'm like, okay, I'm awake, I can move my eyes. Why the fuck can't I move my body? You know? And next thing you know, I just see like the tall figure, and I'm like, now who the hell are you? You know? And I'm sitting
Oh, no, it's not
here,
me, it's me.
and I'm sitting there, and I'm laying on my back, and I can't move, and I'm sitting here, and I'm looking around, you know, like, why can't I
Wait,
move?
what did it look like? Did it look like a shorter version of you?
Nah, bro, it just looked like the Shadow Man was staring at me, and I was like,
Slender Man.
pretty
Slender
much.
Man came to visit you in your sleep.
Dude, I was feared. I was fearing for my life.
Feared.
I was feared.
I was the scared.
I was gonna ask you with your sleep paralysis, did you have a figure or something? But you just said it because there was one time in high school I woke up in the middle of the night, and in my house I didn't have a door because it was just it broke and it was getting stuck, and I was like, fuck it, get rid of the door. And being the oldest, I didn't care sleeping in the dark, but I had younger siblings, so the hallway light was always on because one, my dad wakes up at 1:30 in the morning, go to work, and the little kids like waking up in the middle of the night to migrate to my mom's room. So the hallway light was always on. And I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't move. I couldn't fucking like I couldn't even wiggle my toes. I was just like stuck. I was stuck. And I look in the hallway and all I remember was seeing like a deer like skull face with multiple horns just staring at me. And I'm just looking at it. Shit, it felt like it. And I'm looking at it and I'm just like trying to move and I can't move. And I'm just like, is this where I die? Is this
Dude.
just how I go? Because I can't move. I can't, and like, I can't speak. I'm like, I'm trying to project like, hey, help, or like, hey, is that somebody that I know that's fucking with me?
Mine
And
just
I
looked like a locked
couldn't
Lego
do-
character.
No, the Roblox demon's gonna get me.
Dude, it was just shadow, and then it just kept getting closer, and it like peeked in, like
Yeah, that's the.
it looked like it started trying to duck to walk into my room, and then like I closed my eyes, and I remember I had like a single tear or a couple tears come out because I was like, what the fuck? And then I woke up, and I moved so fast I could move my body again, and I flopped out of my bed face first onto the ground, almost smacked my head on the nightstand, and I got up and I ran out of my room, and I was sitting there and I was like, there's someone in this house, you know. I'm sitting there ready, like I'm sitting here in my boxers, and I'm like ready. I thought I was about to have to go like straight up fighting someone in the house, and I was like, I don't know what it was. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready. Let's go. Fucking hat man.
When I finally got free and everything, I'm sitting in the the middle of my room with a baseball bat with the sock on it. I'm just like, all right,
with a sock on it?
Not with the sock on it.
What?
Yeah, you don't have a sock.
Oh, brother.
Not the Coomerang.
You don't have like a wool sock on the end of your baseball bat. You never seen those videos or like ever done that?
I've evolved from the baseball bat.
Is that supposed to be like a suppressor for the bat?
No, it's
No,
the
there is
concept.
so that if they grab it, you can pull the bat back out of their hand easier.
Oh, that's why you just put nails on it.
Okay,
I mean,
yes and no.
I have a handgun. All right, I evolved from the baseball bat. I'm hitting you.
Yeah, now I got a 45. But I remember I'm standing in the middle of my room with my baseball bat, and my dad just walks past my room, stop because I can hear him shuffling, walks past, stops, takes 2 steps back, looking at me going, what the fuck are you doing? And I looked at him, I was like, do you not see the motherfucker? He's like, go the fuck back to sleep. You're acting like your mother. You're going batshit insane. Go back to fucking sleep. And I was like, and I poked my head out to the hallway. I looked left, I looked right. I'm like, was it a dream or was he here? Like, what the fuck? And my window's always open because Arizona, it's fucking 115 degrees in the
you're in like
summer, so
you're in Tuscan Raider territory for the United States.
So I'm sitting there and I poke my head out the window. It's pitch black out by the front door. I'm just like, okay, maybe I am just going batshit crazy.
You
and
slept
I'm
with
just
that
like,
bat.
fuck. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just go hide in mom's room. Fuck it. 16-year-old me on the floor at the edge of their bed, just sleeping on the floor, like, it works. Watching The Nanny of all fucking things, just like, I'll wait till it's time to actually get ready for school. I'm gonna just watch The Nanny and just continue on.
It do be like that.
All right, so I think
What the topic was.
I was gonna say we deviated so far from the original one. It was about a phone company.
Phones.
Yeah, and somehow we ended up talking about sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. Phone.
Because we were talking
Actually,
we were talking about the guy taking the melatonin gummies on the
How did we get to that?
Because Jay brought up, how the fuck are you supposed to survive on the flight after I brought up, like,
exploding phones from Samsung.
Jay was like, how the hell are you supposed to survive on the flight? And then Will got to he sleeps perfectly fine on the plane, and then I rambled
So
on
it's all Tim's fault. Thanks for the deviation. I flew up.
I flew up.
All right.
But anyways, what's the next topic?
I was going to say, our final topic for today is, what's a car/truck that just has an insane amount of aura, like a car or truck that you see and instantly think, I need that? We'll go ahead and change it up.
Ford F-150.
We'll change it up and go to Sean this time. Let him start it.
The R34 GTR.
Is that even a truck?
Car or truck. Car or truck.
Gotta go with good old Godzilla.
All right, biased.
It's very biased, yes. It's a beautiful car if modded correctly.
If
You tell your Infinity that too?
Say, it's a beautiful car without the mods.
We don't bring.
Is it modded? Is it modded like your car? Is that correctly?
No.
I mean, I can't talk shit. My car
actually
doesn't
prefer
even
the
have a working
R32.
motor.
I was gonna say, you have a paperweight as a car.
I would say, is the check engine light, is that an accessory?
Mine's not
it's a
on.
suggestion for him.
Is it the O2
He just put
sensor?
a piece of tape over the check engine light and called it a day.
Can't see it. It's
I
not
actually
there.
don't have that light
Pull
on.
the light. You just pull the light out.
Not yet.
Shut up.
Stop, guys.
Sean saw the
else is gonna
check.
break?
Sean saw the check engine light, so he went to the front of the car, opened up the hood, and you're like, "Yep,
Yep,
the
the
engine's
engine's
still there."
Good.
The one car I got multiple cars, but the one that always like makes me feel like gives off the best
Not a
aura.
Tesla.
It's probably fuck you. Fuck off. But and I'm probably biased because I like the TV show, but it's a '67 Impala. Just that car.
Ooh.
Supernatural.
That car.
Yeah.
I like Supernatural, and that's where I saw the car for the first. But just when you first see it, and you're just kind of sitting there going, "Damn, that thing's like badass as fuck. Like that's a pretty solid fucking car. Like the design of it and everything." So that's probably like the '67 Impala is probably, in my opinion, gives off like a great aura of like being a badass.
Can't go wrong with classic muscle.
Yeah.
Speaking
agree with
of
the Impala.
classic muscle, 1976 GT 500 Shelby, sage green body color with subtle gold stripes right down the middle. That
This is
will
very specific.
that
that
feels
will
extra
always
bougie.
He
be.
googled it.
No.
He googled
That's,
it.
we've had this conversation before. That is my all-time favorite classic car. It's a Shelby. It's hard to find, but it just has that beautiful, sleek, rustic Mustang look to it. It's classic muscle. It's a beautiful car. That's the dream right there for me. Doubt I'll ever find it, but one day.
Attitude.
Shit,
Yeah,
you're right.
no,
Never
yeah,
mind.
dude. Shit.
But the whole sage green with gold stripes, or subtle gold, because too vibrant. But that car, GT 500 Shelby, beautiful car, 1976, perfect year.
How many times is he gonna say GT 500 Shelby?
GT 500 Shelby,
1976.
It's
1976.
it's like Bloody Mary for him.
Ford
If he says it-
Mustang. Back
What
when
about you,
Mustangs were
Fallon,
built
Tim?
right.
All right, so it's come on, Tim. What's yours?
I'm gonna go with the good old Prius.
Get out.
I mean,
Get out.
I'm
You're
not-
done.
Hold on. What kind of? Are we talking about
I mean,
hybrid?
hold on.
Hold on,
no,
Fallon.
you
Did you
did-
just
okay,
ask what kind of
hold on.
Prius?
Like a
I was gonna
hybrid?
say, I'm not gonna lie. The new, I think 2023, 2024, and 2025 Priuses. I don't know what Toyota
That's
did,
just
but
'cause
they
you're
gave
small
them
enough
a
for 'em,
meaner.
Eisner.
Fuck
Yeah, I mean, he did drive a
That's a
Mini
lot
Cooper.
smarter.
He did drive a Mini Cooper.
They
A
are,
Mini
they are
Cooper for a
fine cars.
miniman.
Well, to be fair, his was
Hey.
just.
In my defense, you didn't say what type of aura, okay?
No, I did. I said
Oh,
you
see,
did?
that you see it and instantly think, I need that.
Oh, I
well,
need to not
Tim
see
needs a
that.
Prius.
So
he needs a Prius.
Does the answer still stand of a Prius? Is that the car that you think and you're like, I
Have
need
you
that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying with how gas prices are going, maybe
Okay.
it's possible.
Okay. Your age is
But
showing.
a Prius. But a Prius.
Have y'all
No,
seen
not a
the
Prius, no.
concept art for the newer Priuses?
That thing looks
No.
insane.
No,
Look
but
up
I've seen it
looks
for the Camrys. The Camrys are nice.
I've seen the
look up
Camrys.
concept for the newest Priuses.
I don't
They
want one.
honestly don't look that bad.
No,
I was
they
gonna
do
say,
not.
the new, like I was saying, the new Priuses, the Toyota did something different, and they gave them a meaner, sleeker body style, and they don't look terrible.
No way. This is it. Hold up.
Mhm.
Okay.
The 2023 Toyota Prius.
Could you pull it up?
Hold on. Let me share my screen.
Yep. Let's tune in here.
There's no way this is a Prius.
Oh, the Zephyr.
Yeah,
Prius
that's
is
yeah,
a-
that's those are.
How
the
are you
no
saving
Priuses.
gas mileage while looking like that? That's just a cheat
Those
code. That's not
honestly
fair.
don't look that bad. I
They
would
don't
drive
look
that
bad.
car.
I would
I would.
drive that
I
car
would.
too.
Hold on. You said you drive it, but would you get rid of your Infinity for it? Yeah.
Mm.
It'd be my second car.
You mean the functional one?
Mm.
My Infinity still functions.
Better
Properly,
Properly,
drums.
that's another question. But
Alright.
it functions.
All right.
You
And
have a
then,
working motor, better than me.
You know what? He does have a working motor, but sometimes it doesn't work. He can't even get up the 4 flights of fucking
You can't
levels
get
to
it
get
up?
out of the parking garage.
Damn,
You can't
Pop
get
Tart,
it
I'm
up?
the oldest one here, and I can still do that.
I'm just fat.
wait, can you still see it when you look down?
Oh,
Okay. Getting off topic. Getting off topic.
Depends.
It depends on the day. If I do the fat man, suck it in and look, maybe. Just a tip.
All he has to do is reach both his arms above his head, and it's there.
That was rude.
All right.
Violation.
And then I know you've been waiting.
Wait.
So
What about Tim? You never actually said your car. You said a Prius had a satire.
Okay, so one that I actually want would be a truck. It would be a GMC Denali. The GMC Denali, just out of like the versatility and the comfort.
1,500, 2,500.
2,500. Yeah, heavy duty. It would be a diesel for sure.
Diesel.
Diesel, but that's because that's what I work on every day. So
Yeah.
I'm a big
What
GM
kind of truck
fan.
did you say it was?
GMC Denali.
Denali.
Yeah, Denali is the actual like upgraded version of the base model.
What year?
Really, any of them.
Jay, do you have
I was
a
gonna
light
say
behind
that
your
those
computer?
are pretty nice.
Do I have a what?
A light?
No,
No,
that's just my
his
computer.
Your face is white as fuck.
I can make it brighter.
Well,
Jesus.
while Jay's looking
Turn it
up
down.
the Denali, what about you, Fallon? What's your car that you would get
Or
based
truck.
off of Aura or truck?
There's two. It's kind of a toss up. A blacked out G-Wagon, like full on blacked out, tinted, windows and
Oh,
everything.
When you say blacked out, are you talking like matte blackout or like the glossy black?
Gloss
'Cause
black.
The matte black.
I don't- I
Both
don't-
are nice.
I just say I couldn't do the matte black. I like to see the reflections. I
feel
want-
like a matte gives off a stronger.
I was gonna say matte black gives off that stronger like I came here to fuck.
But the other one is a same thing, like a blacked out Chevy Suburban.
Hold
Shut-
on. Are we gonna just skip over that comment?
No, it's a valid comment.
Go
It's a
ahead,
valid
Colin.
I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead,
looked.
Colin.
Jerome looked, and I saw Pop-Tart look. All after that comment.
I mean, now I'm curious, Fallon. Sorry, but I feel like we should put your story a pin in that and go back to what Colin means by "I drive that truck. I'm here to fuck."
I think it's obvious, dude. I mean, what are you gonna do? Because you don't know who the fuck's gonna come out of the vehicle like that, Like you're sitting there, and you're like, who's driving the blacked out
We're dropping
G-Wagon?
a ladder to climb out.
Man's got the electronic. He's got the hydraulic steps that come out off the side skirts.
He's got his own elevator to take him up and down. Oh,
Man.
is that what you meant? It's just the fact that it's a black truck and matte, and you're like, well, I'm fucking.
You-
Myself.
It doesn't care who's getting out. You're tapping it.
First off, G wagons are like 100,000 plus, right? And then if you get that paint style, that's like an extra like 30,000-40,000 for that color and everything with the black window tints and everything. And like the way I think of it is like if you own that, it's the aura of you can either do whatever the fuck you want, bag whoever the fuck you want, or just like you're just
Or
part of
you're
a
in
society.
incredible debt.
After the G-Wagon, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's the G-Wagon, all matte blacked out and everything, you're probably poor with financial decisions and struggling to keep it getting repoed.
But
You
dude,
just meant it. You just meant it like cosmetically. Then he's there to fuck, not like
Yeah,
But if
I
you're-
drive a matte black truck. I'm fucking.
I say, but if you're driving that, obviously you're there and you're trying to make yourself known, because most people are like, who the hell is riding up in like a full on blacked out G-Wagon, And the other one for that would be a blacked out Chevy Suburban. But the issue with that is people be
you're
like,
trying to look like a cop.
I was gonna say, but then people be like, you fed?
Are you trying to be FBI or what's going on?
Like a blacked out Suburban with the bull bar on the front and like a maybe 2-inch lift.
You neither work for the government or Nick Fury's personal detail, so
Yeah, like
Dude, but tell me those don't look
Blacked out
sick though.
Suburban, They do look sick, but we all know if you see a blacked out Suburban, it's one of the alphabet
It's
people.
5-0.
It's a
And-
5-0.
Steady man.
Not the blacked out minivan rolling up. You don't know what to think. Here comes the Toyota Sienna. Run.
The blacked out Honda Odyssey.
Bad Fallon, bad.
Oh my god, could you imagine that?
But-
Somebody rocking up with fucking like cambered blacked out Honda Odyssey?
Oh my god, Camber.
Since we're talking about ridiculous
You did not
things, let's
say
just
a cambered Odyssey.
I'd imagine it. Imagine. I want you to
I
think.
don't want to. That
think
is
of it.
terrible.
let's just straight pipe a Prius while we're at it.
That is
Nah,
better
nah,
to
I
imagine
think-
than a cambered Odyssey.
Straight-
You want to hear the craziest thing? Is I was watching Weston Champlin the other day, and he has a fucking Fiat in his like fleet of cars he does, and he
The
said
song
it for
popped in my
shits.
head.
He said it for
You wanna
shits.
see it?
But he said it for shits and giggles. But knowing this man putting a fucking Cummins swapped Mustang and doing all this weird shit with cars.
I really
Um,
thought you were gonna say he put the Cummins in the Fiat. I got concerned.
No, but he dead ass. He's like, man, if you just LS swap this bad boy, the Fiat's pretty good. I was like, how the fuck you gonna
If you
fit it?
LS
One-
swap anything, it'll
I was
be
gonna
good.
say LS swaps are super common. Like that's the first thing people think is like, let's
Yeah,
LS swap
it's
it.
the most common. is
Yeah.
LS
Yeah.
swap.
I'm gonna LS
But-
swap my scooter.
But yeah, but
Someone's probably done it.
I'm putting a
when he
Tesla
said that,
battery on the
all I
hover
could
round.
think about is a LS swapped Fiat slammed to the ground with cambered wheels at like a 45-degree angle with a big ass spoiler on it. I'm just like,
Sean,
The camber is disgusting.
do that to your
Like a
infinity.
subtle 2 to 3 degrees, that's fine.
Do that to your
You
infinity.
got people with the fucking camber.
It's disgusting.
where
Now
you get, like,
imagine
it looks
that
like the
on a
Valkyrie.
blacked out modified Odyssey.
Honda Odyssey, and you got the spoiler on the back.
with the front scoop
No,
on the hood.
Not just any spoiler. You got that GTR
Fucking
spoiler on the
AutoZone
back.
special right there.
Yeah. The old
I've got money but out of choices.
get like the fake hood scoop on the front of it too. That you like, it's like adhesive. You just stick it on.
No,
The
at that
AutoZone
point,
special.
at that point, you're committed. You're putting a real scoop on there. Fuck it, we're putting a snorkel on it.
Dude, put a cowl hood on it. Put a cowl hood on it.
Snorkel
God.
on an Odyssey.
Oh,
Jesus.
Fully tinted windows. We're gonna put a skirt. We're gonna put a whole lift kit on it. It's gonna be cambered and lifted. Yes.
but hold on, no, it's got to be the blacked out
Oh,
Odyssey, but
well,
cambered
I've
with
seen
white
a
lifted
rims.
Prius.
It's gotta have white rims.
A lifted Prius.
I'm with-
I've
I'm with
seen a
Tim
lifted
on that
Prius.
face he
Not by
made.
much, but it was lifted.
Not by much.
All
Is
right.
it lifted
You
by
never-
hand?
You know, you gotta save those hybrid batteries from the water, I guess.
You would know everything about that one.
I don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
It was at least high enough to where I could scoot under it with nothing.
That's saying a lot.
I know.
That's
that
All right. Before we
thing
deviate,
had like a 3-foot lift.
before we deviate from this subject,
That's that's rude.
and say we kind of
Rude.
we went through our 3 topics for today. So yeah, it's still wild, man. Now every time I think of a blacked out G-Wagon, I want to think that guy fucks.
Every time I see a blacked
No,
out G-Wagon,
no,
I'm gonna
that
think of a
guy's here to
blacked out
fuck.
He's here to
hammered
fuck.
He's
Odyssey.
here to fuck.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
think cambered Odyssey.
But
Remember, Fallon, he's here to fuck, and you're the only one there.
I'm down. He's driving the G-Wagon, bro. Am I gonna deny
Fallon's
him?
just he's gonna see the G-Wagon roll up. He's gonna look around. And he's like, "That's here for me. I gotta
Like,
go.
damn.
I'm
gotta
the
go."
prize.
My
I'm the
ride's here,
prize.
guys.
That's for me and me
Got a
only.
pretty mouth.
No, but the other thing about the blackout G-Wagon is probably like the same thing when people say, "Oh, they got Black Air Force energy." That's probably the same concept of it.
I think it's worse.
You think it's
I think it's
worse?
worse.
No, I infinitely think.
Black Air Force energy, to my understanding, is you could punch holes and start fights. A black G-Wagon, it's not just for the fight. You're,
the fuck.
the fuck and the fight. They're probably both at
Either
the
way,
same
clothes
time.
are coming off.
I'm headbutting you while we're doing. But yeah, I think that's all we had on today's agenda for topics. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you to those who watch, and see you next time on the Banter Bench.